What it do, y'all, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm so excited to bring you guys another live. And today's live, of course, we're going to be doing another must-have, must-gag. If you did not know, this is my series I created by Samantha Marches Will I Buy It series. I always have her series listed and linked down below, as well as all of the Instagram pages I follow to get all of this makeup knowledge. And lastly but not least, I always have all of the items listed and linked down below. If there's an asterisk behind that link, that means it is an affiliated link. If you shop through it, I very much appreciate it. Otherwise, no big deal at all. I'm just happy you're here live or afterwards to talk about new makeup with me. So I have all of my information linked down below, including what's on my face right now, as well as all of the items that I will be discussing, or at least that I've pre-planned to discuss. Like I said in my post earlier today, I feel like there's not much new makeup coming out right now, which is good, right? We got the two pretty big pushes of holiday makeup already gone through the woodwork, and at this point people are just taking the time to decide what they want to pick up and prepping for other things that they're going to be buying for their loved ones or themselves for the holiday season. So I am not mad at all at the fact that the makeup has slowed down. It's definitely something that I am okay with. And so, yeah, I'm just going to try to bring this live up on my phone. Like always, if you did not know, I usually have the live on my phone so that I can see the comments that you guys post. If you put any comments in there, that way we can actually talk back and forth, as is really helpful in a live. And yeah, as for my face, I know my face may look quite oily. It's oily for a reason. I am currently doing a wear test on my first foundation for the foundation week. And just to mitigate you guys not even having to go down to the description box to see which foundation we're looking at today, we're looking at the Huda Beauty Easy Blur Foundation. Ooh, excuse me. I've had this foundation on since like 9:30 this morning, so take that into your opinions when you see my foundation as it is. When I do these wear tests, I like to not actually manipulate the makeup at all. So other than adding more lip product on, that's the only thing that I've done since I showed you guys kind of my final look during, oh my gosh, there's so much going on, so many notifications. My final look since I sat down in that part of the video. So I unfortunately can't blot or anything like that, but I don't think it looks too bad. While I kind of give you guys a little bit of time to roll in, if you're able to attend during the live portion today, I'm going to do what I always like to do, which is to talk about the items that I picked up and or just received this last week since I talked to you guys literally a week ago. I do have quite a bit. I think I pulled it all out. Let me duck and see just to make sure, and then we will truly dive in. Okay, so not too much that I actually picked up this week around. I told you guys, I want to say in last week's new makeup releases that I was going to be picking up the Pat McGrath holiday collection. I'm pretty sure I told you guys I decided to pick it up from Ulta, and that's exactly what I did. I picked up one of the two kind of types of eye products that is, that were available at Ulta. I did not care to pick up any of her lip products. It's just not something for me personally. I don't really collect, or I'm not really interested in Pat McGrath's lip products. If she had a face palette, I would have picked that up. I've loved all of the face palettes that I picked up from the brand, but instead I picked up these two eyeshadow palettes. They're actually what's on my eyes today. I'll take off my glasses. Hopefully you guys can see. This video, I haven't actually edited it yet, but I aim to edit it. What's today? Today's Tuesday, so I aim to actually edit it today, actually after probably this live. That way I can have it go live tomorrow. I'm trying to really play catch up. I have so many things that I wanted to push out, and reasons why it hasn't happened. You know, it runs the gamut, right? But the main thing is that I really wanted to get these items out. So when I made this order at Ulta, I also have been wanting to try the Chanel blushes, the cream blushes, and there is a Chanel boutique, not boutique, but like stand at a local Ulta to me, but when I went, they didn't have it, and I figured I'm already making an order. At the worst, I can go ahead and return it. I'm hopeful that I won't feel the need to, though. So this is the baby. It looks so pretty, and I'm excited to test her out. I have not tried it at all yet. I will probably be able to do another full face of new makeup coming here soon, because that's how much makeup I have. So stay tuned for that. Okay, so those are the two items, or the two kind of products that I got from Ulta. I also told you guys that I was really interested in quite a bit from Charlotte Tilbury for her specific holiday. So this weekend I was able, or this week I received my order from them, and I did pick up quite a bit, and in doing that they gave me quite a few samples. So I picked up the, let me see, I'm gonna just pull out the items that I actually bought. So I picked out two of the little pop shot things. I was just really interested in them. They look like really cool one and done shadows, and if you know anything about me, I love me a one and done shadow. So I went ahead and picked those up, and then I also picked up the eyeshadow palette. Let me see if I have a opener so I can show you guys at least which one, because honestly I don't remember. I know at one point I was going back and forth between this year's and last year's, but I don't remember. I think I might have gotten this year's because this year's was actually cheaper, even though I've always wanted last year's, which honestly that doesn't make any sense why this year's is cheaper. Maybe because it costs more for them to make it. Either way, this is the one that I got. It's the Love palette. So yeah, I got this year's Charlotte Tilbury holiday palette, and I will be working on getting a video up showcasing that, like all of my other holiday, will be a first impressions. But in the end of somewhere in November, I'll be working to give you guys an overall review of all of these items. By then it'll be right before all of those holiday sales, Black Friday, etc. So you guys will have that information so that you can decide what you want to pick up, especially if you've been sitting waiting for a really good sale, because let's face it, even the Sephora 20% off sale really isn't great. But I think I've yammered on enough. If somebody could just give me a thumbs up in the description box, or not in the description box, I'm sorry, in the live chat, if you're able to, just to let me know that you guys were actually able to hear that whole rant, because otherwise be a little awkward. I'm pretty sure everything's good to go. It looks like it is, but yeah. While I wait for that, I'm gonna work on getting my screen reorganized so that you guys can actually see all of the new makeup releases, and then we'll just be good to go. All right, I think that looks good. We're just gonna keep carrying on. Actually, I just saw my camera counting down, so I just cleared it. All right, so let's start off with the first new makeup release. Unearthly Cosmetics has now officially released and launched their cream blushes. They are coming out with 3 different shades, and let me see if I can get more information on those shades. So the shades are Blood Moon, which is that berry red for bold ethereal flush. You have Burnt Rose, which is the soft mauve rose, which is supposed to be for like a romantic everyday look. And then you have Wilted Blossom, which is supposed to be like a pinky beige, for like a subtle life look. They're available but in limited quantities. I don't know what that means. I do know that I was able to actually link them down below. I honestly didn't look to see if they were available though. For me, I would only probably want that really bold berry. And I did say that if it was a color that I was interested in, I would go ahead and probably pick it up. I'm pretty sure that's the same color that I saw Karen Harris actually have on her cheeks. I happened to be scrolling on Instagram and I saw her showcasing that, and it looked really pretty on her skin tone. And I am, of course, darker than Karen Harris, but I find that if Karen can make it work and it looks bold on her skin, it will actually work on my skin. So this is something that I could definitely see me picking up in the future. Is it something that I'm gonna run to pick up right now? I'm not really convinced of that. I would need to hear really raving reviews about this to really run for it right now, because I really want to continue to prioritize any and all holiday that I really want to pick up, because this is kind of the time to pick that stuff up, not necessarily a cream blush. Even though it says it's limited, I'm sure, you know, if people really enjoy it, they will restock it. So I think it's really, really cute launch. I like that it's a small launch. It's not like 20 blushes. I do like that. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's something that I have to run out to pick out right now. Next is actually funny. So Lisa Eldridge just launched a new product, and this is her Rouge Experience refillable lipstick. So this is supposed to be a luxurious refillable next generation lipstick. The packaging is aluminum and it is refillable and can be engraved. The lipstick has a creamy texture and it's supposed to feel light on the lips, has a soft, subtle sheen, and it's supposed to have a kind of lip smoothing effect. So they tout that there are 8 different shades, and here are the list of the shades. So we have an earthy rose, an iconic late 1950s salmon pink, a deep cool claret, I don't know what that is, a neutral pink, a mauve berry rose, a red, a cool heather, and a tawny caramel. The one thing I like about Lisa Eldridge is that she has like a legitimate kind of makeup archive historical collection, if that makes sense, right? So when she says iconic late 1950s color, not only is she coming at that from like images and like, you know, all of that stuff, but she's also most likely coming at it because she still has the products. So I think it's really, really cool. These are quite expensive, so they're $30 each. There's not a shade that I think like I could not live without. Let's see, let me swatch through or go through. This color looks intriguing. I can't see what the color is though. And then these are the swatches. This looks like a darker skin tone. I would say that this would be the shade that like out of all of them would be something that could easily and seamlessly work into my collection. It's not one that would like kind of stick out like a sore thumb, but yeah, it's this one, but I don't know which shade that is. Is that supposed to be the Bohemian Cherry? That's not a cherry tone though. I don't know which one it is. It's fine. I still have not, unfortunately, started my like deep dive into Lisa Eldridge. I still have the products, of course, but I haven't actually been able to sit down and put them on my face. I aim to do that, but like I said, I think that it's more important to get this holiday makeup tested and pushed out my reviews sooner rather than later over the Lisa Eldridge. I do still plan to do it, but it might just be pushed back for me releasing that video sometime in November, December timeframe. And maybe that'll be a bonus video, which I'm sure you guys will love as well. So yeah, I'm really happy that she continues to bring out new innovative stuff. And I'm sure the concept of aluminum packaging is really exciting for people who are really into kind of recyclable stuff that supports the earth, all of that jazz. So I really like the concept of this. I'm just not convinced that I have to pick anything up. I'm not. But I haven't tried her stuff yet, and I have a feeling her stuff is going to make me want to buy a whole bunch. So we'll see. We'll see what happens once I try some more. Another thing from Unearthly Cosmetics is this Groovy palette. So, not Groovy. What am I talking about? This is the Gargle palette. So, this is retailing for $68, and I'm pretty sure this was already a thing. I distinctly remember a Gargle palette years ago. I remember Angelica Nique was like featuring it, all that jazz. And let me see if they talk about it being purposed. They don't say anything about it like being a kind of reimagined palette, but I'm 90% sure that this is a reimagined palette that they already had and they just kind of rejazzed it up. I'm pretty sure previously it did not have those magnetic pans. So I'm sure that also is one thing that they did to kind of bring this into a more wider audience is willing to try it out and, you know, pick it up. That said, this color scheme is just not for me. It wasn't for me before and it's not for me now. That's why I never picked it up. I do enjoy some Unearthly Cosmetics palettes, but I find that they have like good quality and bad quality, and I am not the person, at least not right now, who wants to sit here and buy from a brand that it's like every other, right? If I'm gonna pick something up, I want to know that it's going to be that same great quality. I'm not gonna want to feel like it's a gamble. And so for me, this is not a product that I'm even thinking about picking up. It's just both of those things kind of really write it off as being something that I need to pick up personally. Some more holiday coming in from Nabla. So Nabla has these cutie pencils that I think a lot of people, if they've actually tried it, really enjoy. So they have 3 different colorways. One that looks to be quite neutral inspired. You got that champagne, like a kind of, I don't want to say like a pewter type color, and then you have like a really dark, deep brown. Then you have like a radiant here of like a lilac all the way to potentially like a black or maybe a really dark purple. And then you have like a pinky tone, another kind of pewter color, and then like a more burgundy-esque brown type situation. They also have some smaller versions of their lip mask as well. I think this is a really smart way for you to get either a bunch of different colors from a product that you love from this brand, or you get to try the lip kit from the brand. Definitely think it's really cool of them doing this. Is this something that I'm gonna get? I've never tried their cutie pens. I've never tried them, so I have no kind of reason to want to bring in 3 at the same time. And as for the lip balms or the lip kind of kits or whatever you want to call it, I have so many, and I actually prefer to not use lip mask in this type of packaging. I prefer them to be in like a squeezy tube or something like that. So this is going to be a pass for me. I believe I linked down below to Ulta just because I know Ulta does tend to get this stuff. It does get it quite late though. If you're really looking for it right now, I would suggest going to the actual Nabla website or a European retailer for Nabla. It usually takes a little while for Ulta to get it here in the US. So continuing on, it looks like Beyonce is coming out with yet another perfume. And this perfume is a 1.7. So this perfume is a 1.7 fluid ounce bottle, retailing for $160. The name of it is Elixir, and the notes top are Madagascar, black pepper, Italian mandarin yew. The heart is jasmine, sambac, absolute, and rhubarb. And then the base is Indonesian patchouli and skin musk. I know a lot of people went crazy for this, especially because she started to give out samples towards the end of her last tour. but I don't actually hear anybody talking about her first perfume anymore. And so for me, similar to how I felt before, I cannot justify blind buying a perfume for $160. I have so many perfumes, so many. And what I have learned throughout, the longer I've acquired said perfumes is that it takes a while to get through them. It really does, especially if you don't wear perfume every day. If you're not somebody who reapplies, it takes you a while to get through a bottle, especially a 1 fluid ounce. And so for me, it just I can't justify it. I really really can't. Maybe if eventually she allows her perfumes to be sold in a retailer, then maybe I'll go ahead and get my nose on it, and maybe after I get my nose on it, it'll be a scent that I feel like I can't live without. Then I would go ahead and like budget and do all that jazz to get this perfume into my life. But until then, I just cannot justify blind buying it. And I feel like she's honestly doing herself a little bit of a disservice not having her perfumes in a retailer right now, because I'm sure I'm not the only one who feels that way. I remember when I talked about this perfume, when the first version came out, you guys were agreeing with me on that. And so I just think that there's a lot of people that could potentially pick up the perfume sooner if it were available. And who knows, maybe she's aiming to get it available, but it takes some time for them to see that you're going to be profitable and it's going to be worth it for them to buy the stock from your manufacturer and all that jazz. So I mean, I'm just a small pea in this pod, but I definitely think that it would be nice if she were able to be available in a retailer. Something else is coming out from Holika Holika. Now, if you don't know what Holika Holika is, they are an Asian-based brand that is available on YesStyle and I'm pretty sure Amazon as well. I have a handful of items that I've either finished and decluttered, well, not decluttered, but finished and thrown away because they were done, or they're still actually in my collection, all once again from a YesStyle order to some extent. It looks like right now they're coming out with something that has it's a blurring lip pot. And it's supposed to have a soft and plump cloud-like cream texture. Its formulation is touted to give the lips what? Giving life to a different kind of thing. I don't really understand. I don't understand that description. I'm sure you guys can see what it says. It makes absolutely no sense. Anyways, this is launching on November 4th of this year. So in a couple of days. I think it's really cool. I saw this and I thought these were blushes. I know Holika Holika does a lot of blush type products. They do a lot of lip type products too, but this just screamed blush to me. So that's why I was excited about this. I don't do these lip pot things. So this is going to be easy pass for me, unfortunately, but it does look pretty. And I mean, I will say this, if you're somebody who has a product that is touted to be for the lips, but you like the color, you can always apply it to your cheeks. People do that all the time. They'll take their lipstick, literally like the lipstick bullet, and they'll swipe it on their cheeks, blend it out, and you have a matching kind of very one-dimensional look, but in the best possible way. So this is something that I'm not going to be picking up, but yeah, it does look cute. It does look cute. Keeping it going with a new product once again for the holidays from Vacation, and this is a Pinnacle Pine Scented Candle. Now, I know a lot of people are into like very unique scents in their home. For me, I like sweet scents in my home. That's pretty much it. If it's not sweet, it needs to be clean, something like that. And so for me, the concept of this candle in my home would never be a thing. It would absolutely never be a thing. But I know for some, this is like exactly what they want and they're really, really excited. They don't have the price here, but I know I was able to find it on their website. So it is linked down below. And I do hear really good things about their scents. I've heard people talk about their perfumes. I don't think I've heard anybody talk about their candles, but generally if you can do a wicked perfume, you can do a wicked candle as well. So it looks nice. It looks aesthetically pleasing, but it's just the scent is not for me. Yeah, Jazz, I definitely love me a nice cozy scent where you can curl up and just relax, or it helps you unwind and go to sleep or whatever have you. I definitely do think that a lot of people should really give that tip a try though. I know a lot of people do it, but like that's another good way to like finish up a product that you don't really like, especially like if the texture isn't what you want for your lips. 9 times out of 10, it could probably work for your cheeks. I wouldn't recommend it for your eyes necessarily, depending on the formulation, just because eyes, I find, one, are a lot more sensitive, so you really need to make sure that product is eye safe, but also because you can't really take too much tackiness on your eyes. But yeah, another tip for you guys. NYX. So NYX is coming out with their holiday collection, and it seems like this is like the 5th year in a row that they've done a Home Alone like version of Halloween of Christmas or a holiday collection. It's quite interesting actually. But anyways, she would. If you're talking about Angelica Niequist, she would love that candle. I'm sure she talked about it in her recent video. I haven't had the time to watch it. I've been trying to knock out so many things that I've been avoiding lately that I've just been not watching too much TV or even YouTube. But NYX, they're coming out with that holiday collection, like I said, and they have a huge kind of advent calendar, which is very much like their norm, right? They usually have like I think it's a 25 countdown candle and or advent calendar, and that's exactly what this one is. But they usually also have a whole bunch of sets of their lip products, a whole bunch of eyeshadow palettes, as you can see here, you know, lip products, eyeshadow palettes. And I'm sure it just continues to go on and on and on. It looks like this is like a lip set that you can just get in a paint can, which is actually very cute. Insanely cute, actually. So yeah, you get 12 lip products in this paint can. That's a lot of lip products. I will say though that the last time I tried these lip products, especially the glossy ones, there's not that much product in there, so honestly you might actually get through these in a year. But at the same time, if you're not going to use all of the shades, this might not be for you. Is this like a half-baked advent calendar? Oh, it's a surprise makeup box. Okay, like a piñata. Pull, catch, and snatch the baddie holiday glam. I don't know. That takes too much thought for me to think about how to get into the product. The eyeshadow palette looks cute, but it also looks like one that they've already released before and they just changed the packaging. So nothing crazy there. Once again, some more lip product kits. This is very, very normal NYX. They always have a lot, and I do mean a lot, of lip kits available. Once again, that same lip kit from beginning, and like I said, that advent calendar, which it appears to be strictly or at least predominantly lip products. And oops, if you didn't want to see what was in the advent calendar, my bad. So yeah, I mean, it's cute. Not for me. Not for me at all. More lip products from a brand that honestly didn't even know they were still like alive and kicking. So this is Smashbox, and they have come out with Flash FX lipsticks. And these are supposed to be bold melted metal lipsticks with vivid one swipe color. And this is supposed to be developed for you to wear these shades to work on all skin tones. It's supposed to give you that perfect kind of pearlescent finish. It's supposed to be vivid one swipe color. It's supposed to be smooth and melt on your lips, and it's supposed to be bold and high pigment. All of that sounds cool, but they're glossing over the fact that these are still a metallic finish. I understand that a lot of makeup trends, fashion trends, life in general continues to repeat itself, but I don't think the concept of metallic lips is ever going to come back. Now, what I will say is that this is, I think, a really good version of it. It doesn't look as kind of bold, as you will, as metallic lips were when they came around the first time, or I guess the last time. But no, I really don't see people buying these, which is going to lead to my concept of like, I'm truly surprised that Smashbox is still up and kicking. This is limited edition and it is available at Ulta and on their website in case you were interested. And once again, that is linked down below. So honestly, I only have 3 more items. So this is what I meant by there's really not much to talk about this week. I feel like I really kind of got caught up last week and not realizing that there was not going to be much this week. Exactly. I definitely thought that they went out of business. Like, I really was confused as to the fact that Smashbox was releasing something. But at the same time, I mean, if they're still alive, that's cool. That's cool. I wish them, the best. And I wish that they can continue to keep their business up. But I just feel like they're not keeping up with the Joneses. And unfortunately, in this makeup industry, if you're not keeping up with the Joneses, you will be left behind. So Auric is coming out with something. We don't know what it is though. We have absolutely no idea. They have not released any additional information. I know they're starting to do like sneak peeks. I'm going to go ahead and click their website because I know they like changed their web page and people are like freaking out about that. I guess this is the best we can see. So it does look like it's some form of compact. So maybe it will be like a bronzer and a highlighter kind of duo or something. Who knows? Who knows? But I enjoy some of the things. So I bought three things from Auric. I have their Glow Lust. I have one of their eyeshadow like duos, and then I have one of their lashes sets because all of their lashes come in sets. And I will say I like all of the items. I let that Glow Lust get really old and I shouldn't have, so I'm like trying to get more use out of it now in its last kind of months in my collection. Everything else has been good though. Everything's been good, period. And so I'll be interested to see what they come out with. And if it's something that I'm intrigued by, I may go ahead and pick it up. But it's unfortunately not one of those brands that is like an automatic buy. But then if we're being honest, I don't feel as though I have any more automatic buy brands. I felt like I definitely had those coming into 2024. And 2024 has definitely taught me that just because you used to always buy their products does not mean you're always going to want to buy their products, and does not always mean that you're going to want to keep the products that you already bought. For example, Adept Cosmetics. As you can see on the screen, they're coming out with a new palette, and it should be launching actually in a couple of days. It's the Vivette palette, and this, to me, is not it. It's just not it. I don't want to be me. It does not invoke anything for me. I feel like it's all over the place. And there was a point in time where I used to think that being all over the place was cool and I'd be interested in trying it, blah, 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 blah. But this is just not for me. If it's for you, it does appear that there is a code in this description box. The code is BFCM, all caps. It'll get you 20% off site-wide. Apparently that starts on November 7th and goes all the way until November 8th. So you really only get that code for a day. So definitely make sure. And it looks like that's for their preview sale for, I'm assuming, this palette launching, because they did say that this palette is launching on Thursday. Actually, that doesn't make sense because Thursday is definitely not the 7th or the 8th. Either way, that's a code that you can use if you would like to on their site and potentially even get this palette for a discounted price. I will say Adept palettes do generally sell out a lot. So if this is something that you're really like, you feel you have to have in your collection, maybe weigh that against like if you want to wait. I will say though, long term, Adept tends to always restock their items at least once. So I would not worry too much if you really want this and you know you can't get it. It looks like the palette is $62, but there's something else in here that you can bundle to make it 72. I don't know what the bundle is. The description does not say what comes in the bundle. Yeah, it doesn't say what comes in the bundle, but if you want to know when it launches for you, oh, it launches on the 7th. Next Thursday, not this Thursday. Okay, it all makes sense now. So you can definitely use that code on launch day to get that 20% off, I would assume, based on it being in this description box. And if you want to know what time it launches for you in your time zone, they've already done all the work for you, and you can definitely just go ahead and look at Motivate the Earth. But yeah, for me, it's just an easy pass. Easy pass. So the last thing that I had pinned to talk about, and please let me know not down below, please let me know in the chat if there's something else you guys want to talk about, is the fact that Certify apparently is now shipping again, and they're apparently back to being a brand. I know Certify has gone through quite a bit of like different things, because at one point they stopped when their sister brand, which was, oh, I'm blanking on the sister brand. That brand kind of stopped, and then the owner of that brand actually completely rebranded, and I think she went into earrings, or at least jewelry, the last time I checked. I know Certify never officially kind of stopped selling makeup, or they didn't really rebrand, they just kind of stopped selling makeup. It looks like they're now launching their eyeshadow palettes, but only in the UK. I'd be interested to know if their formula has been updated, because the formulas that we were obsessed with and loved when they were big and on top, I'm sure are different, and just not the quality that we all love and want now. So I'd be intrigued to know, but other than that, I just wanted you guys to know, in case you are really interested and you happen to live in the UK, that they're a brand that you could potentially go ahead and order from. You do have to DM them apparently on Instagram though. So if that's not something that you like to do, just know that. So that's all of the makeup that I have pinned. I was gonna go through my loves list to prep for the Sephora sale, because that sale is coming up in like 2 days. Definitely let me know, like I said, if there's anything else that you guys want to talk about. But I think I will go ahead and just switch over to that page, and we can just talk about all of the things that are in my loves list. And now I'm seeing that you guys can't actually see my full screen. What is formerly, yep, correct. It was formerly Blush Tribe. Blush Tribe, so Blush Tribe's owner and Certify's owner are sisters. And basically what happened is Certify and Blush Tribe both, I think they had something happening with their family, or maybe with like one of the actual owners. They both kind of basically stopped selling makeup, and Blush Tribe decided that she was going to rebrand and do jewelry, whereas Certify kind of just never came back, and I guess this is her time to officially come back. And so yeah, I think it's always, you know, do what works for you. I loved Blush Tribe's formula, I will say that. And if they ever did come back as Blush Tribe, maybe. But I also find that, like, you know, I had my moment with them, I had my time with them, and I loved it, don't get me wrong, but I don't feel the need to like go back. I hope that makes sense. So I think I'm gonna move on to the makeup, but right before I do that, my camera's about to die, so let me switch my battery and then we can start it. All right, I should be coming back momentarily. And there we go. Of course, you catch me closing my drawer. Alrighty, so like I said, this is my loves list, right? So I've had these items, some items on my list for years, some items on my list for a day, and I don't think I've ever actually gone through the whole list with you guys. So I figured this would be kind of cool to go with you through with you guys and prep for the sale. I do intend to do a video. I kind of wanted to do a video actually dedicated strictly towards this. Do you guys want to do this now? Or do you want me to do a video? Maybe I'll just do a video. Let me know, because we could end this new makeup releases now. Because, I mean, technically, the new makeup releases is over. And I could do that then. Maybe I should do that. Yay, nay? Anybody? No? Because otherwise, like I said, I really don't think there's anything else happening makeup wise. I can go to Trend Mood. Trend Mood's talking about the Sigma collection that's old. This is something I wasn't really interested in. It's Revlon's lip gloss that has glitter in it. Nothing really exciting there for me. Yeah, I mean, pretty much everything we talked about a lot last week. I will say that. Last week's video, I think, was 2 hours, or it's somewhere close to 2 hours. So maybe I will just end it here. We'll just say that we had a really quick new makeup releases, because it doesn't seem like anybody is really yay or nay for this, and I am quite hungry. If we're being honest, I haven't really eaten a full meal in some time. Okay. I think this is just going to be a quick new makeup releases live. I think we're just going to go ahead and wrap her up now. Like I said, this makeup does look a little crazy. Just a little crazy. I have too many things on my loves list to be playing with you. Yeah, I have a lot going on with my loves list too. And that's why I was saying I could do the video now where we talk about it now, or I could just do it in a more sit down formal video. And I think I'll do it in a more sit down formal video. That way we all can kind of talk and discuss together. And I will make sure to get that video up soon. Very, very soon. I gotta figure out when I'm gonna film it so I can get it up soon. But I will get it done. You guys know I will. I'll do my best. And if you did not know, the Sephora sale does start in like 2 days, because it starts on the 1st. So it starts Friday. And if memory serves me correctly, it lasts for 2 weeks. So you definitely have the time if you get paid in betwixt those 2 weeks, or if you got paid already, just kind of prep for that. But yeah, I'm not going to hold you guys up. I feel like I always hold you guys up and we have a really long video. I think that it would be good that we have a very short video. I will film, like I said, that video talking about the new makeup release, not new makeup releases, oh my goodness, talking about the Sephora wish list and what I want to get and all that jazz. Probably tomorrow I will get that filmed. That way I can get it up probably Thursday. There's probably going to be a lot of videos up because I've already got 2 videos up this week and I have a 3rd already planned. So I hope you guys are excited to see my face a lot this week. And with that said, I will see you guys in my next